Tune into the final take with MK Mariner every Saturday on the Alcamba Times and experience extensive conversations on a variety of topics, including national and international headlines, breaking issues, and major developments in politics, business, innovation, science, and sports, along with inspiring stories and expert analysis to provide a comprehensive understanding of the news.
Hello and warm welcome to the final take with me, Seni Marina. Wherever you are joining us, this is the final take with me, Seni MK Marina, from our virtual studios here in Seattle. Today in this show, I have a special guest, Ambassador Essa Bokar Si, a Gambian diplomat who have been ambassador in the United States, Russia, and many other countries. Mr. Essa Bokar Si, you all know, recently announced that he's going to form his political party amid many happenings in the country. So today we're going to discuss a lot of issues in the Gambia, from his political, his intention to compete in the 2026 presidential election, and also the protests that is happening in the Gambia, organized by the Preso Group Gala. We'll also talk about his time at the OIC. We all know Gambia hosted the OIC summit last year. So a lot of issues will be unveiled during this final take. So Mr. Essa Bokar Si is our guest. Mr. Ambassador Si, welcome to the final take with me, Seni Marina.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marina. I always tease you of being the Gambia's Jeff Koinange of CNN. You guys have so many similarities. You know, I've always been teasing you like that. So thank you for welcoming me on this platform. And I'll be more than happy to explain anything under my sleeves and then do my best as a human being. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Ambassador, you have announced your candidacy for 2026 presidential election and hinted at forming a new political party. Can you share the vision and core values behind the party? What gap in Gambian politics are you aiming to fill?
Thank you very much, Mr. Marina. Like the video I released last night, because this structure, I need people to understand that I balanced my words and measured my words carefully as a diplomat when I said where my name featured. Because this political party would not be the political party of I, it will be the political party of T. What I mean by that is it's going to be a team. Right now we have a technical team in place that are working on the structures and everything. The declaration made by me is some sort of just to show people that not everybody is out there ignoring what is happening in the country, that, hey, we are coming, but we don't want to be people who will jump into an arena due to euphoria, due to the loud cry of everybody saying that, oh, some other people should come and be politicians. No. So it is a team right now. Like you just asked, we have this technical team that is working on the structures, and these structures will be put in a way that they will represent us in all the 7 regions of the country. But we have to respect the criteria, because like I said, if you want to form a political party, you have to have in your mind, you and your team, or team and you, that you are a government in waiting, and you have to take things very seriously. Because the Gambian citizen, I understand when you start any political process, people will ask questions. Oh, we have seen this kind of people again. When they come, they form a political party. There are 10 political parties already. There are 11 political parties. And to those citizens who are challenging someone like me and the party that is going to exist, I will salute you like a soldier. That thank you very much. Don't make it easy for us, please. I want to make that clear. Let the citizens not make it easy for us. Ask us tough questions, because handing over a government to people is like taking the souls of all Gambians, their souls in Neol, and you tell one person, we have take custody of ourselves. So I don't want to be praised because praises are slow poison. They destroy leadership. I want to depart with that. Now, with these structures in place, there will be right now, right around the country, youngsters scheme, they are going around to get us what we call the 10,000 signatories. Okay. And some of these people have already vouched for me that they asked for 10, but Mr. C will bring to the technical team 15 to 20. I said, anyway, even if you bring 100,000, it's still fine for me, but will let us respect the criteria of the IEC because we have to begin there. Everything that the IET has put in place, even if it was to take me 6 months, I will make sure that, sorry, not to say me, but if it take us, because this is something we have agreed. These are people who are entrepreneurs like yourself. They have set up their institutions. They didn't come to me because they are forming something. When you're going home, I give you an envelope. No. These people don't need me to feed their families. They are people who are running small businesses, trained professionals. One of them was in Switzerland, the other one in Sweden, the other one in the United States, and the others are on the ground. And let me tell you one thing, Seni. This is not to get votes, though. I want to make it clear, but I'm very honest. They can verify. The entire technical team is headed by youngsters. Because, okay. Maybe if I can elaborate on that now, okay, fine.
Go ahead. You know.
Yeah, because what I want Gambian youths to understand is this thing. From 65 to now, what we have seen is politics is more like patronage, it's more like kabudu, it's more like being a family head, and there are what they call surgas around you. That's not what a political party should be. This particular political party is not only a party to win votes, it's a party to establish structures that will remain instructors. Okay, that will remain there for the youngsters to know that they own the party. And what I'm saying is serious, because even if we were going to go today and I see that one among them, one Seni Mane among them, would be much better in terms of reviving the Gambia's economy. Believe me, Seni, I would not hesitate to tell that person, you know what, go ahead. You know, I know that I'm a good backup and they all trust me and I trust them. But I want to put in the youngsters that this is the only way they can own up to what belongs to them. And this is the nation. Like if you were to send one of them with a motorbike somewhere in Tanje and then they don't get enough fuel, I don't want the youngsters to start say, call Uncle Esa wave. No. Call Uncle Esa come and I wave. Sacrifice, find the ways to do it so that when you come back to the office, Uncle Esa will respect you because we'll see in you that, yes, you manage yourself out of a situation as crisis management. Because if the mindset of the people in the party is not used to crisis management, right now we are going to manage crisis in the Gambia. Because everybody, whether we agree with it or not, you see, there is a political crisis in the country. Definitely.
Okay. Mr. Ambassador C, you know, you're coming as the newest entrance to the Gambian political landscape. It's something that many people are looking forward to, because when you look at Gambia right now, you know, I would say there is a political crisis. We have a lot of political parties, but at the end of the day, many of these political parties are just parties by name. They have no structures in place. They are one-man political party. What difference will your party do, you know, coming into the political landscape? You mentioned that the party's name and logo, you know, and manifesto and flag will be revealed soon. Tell us, give our audience a sneak peek into the actors of this new movement. What, you know, are you going to prioritize? And when are you launching your political party with its color, you know, manifesto, etc.?
Yeah, I'm smiling because I knew that I'm going to meet Seni. So I know I don't want to reveal things, but before I escape this interview, I know you are going to make me say at least one or two. Okay, the party's name definitely is there, but the reason why we don't want to come out now and say it, because we are discussing with a large group And I don't want to mention that group here because, you know, I mean, they don't want me to do that. But we are discussing with
Ambassador, this is an opportunity for you because a lot of people are tuning in right now, listening to you. This is your first interview, I would say, with a local media. You did one with Point, but this one is a special interview. So this is an opportunity for you to tell Gambians, when is your political party coming up and what are your mottos? What are you going to do that will make you different from other new players into the political landscape?
Yeah, I think my departure has already shown them that. But what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, sometimes also strategically, you have to respect the people you are discussing with. If they are saying that we have to have a closed door meeting, discourse, we already have the party's name. We have already written to IEC. They have replied to us. We are following the
have you registered already, or you are
no. Well, when you say politically, logically, we can say yes, because we have already written their reply. We are on the process. But for us to go, because that's why I said we have to be honest to ourselves. I'm not going to come here and act big and talk big and tell people that yes, we are following the process. We wrote to them and then they replied. We are going to follow every bit of what they want us to do to the letter. If it takes 1 month, fine. If it takes 2 months, fine. If it takes 3 months, fine. You know, Seni, let me tell people one thing about strategic approaches. You saw politics sometimes is not different from military. Okay? Mao Zedong said the political party is war without putting on uniform. That's it. So I am using the soldier's approach, the military background I have, the diplomatic background I have on the map. We have a roadmap. There is a compass, and the mercury is reliable. That's my technical team. You see, you are very wise. Now you are making me talk, and I knew you would do that. We are identifying the landmarks of how to move. That's why we don't want to go register the party. Somebody will come and say, they did not do this. So we are very meticulous. That's the only reason why the fact that the declaration is made. In fact, I did have an interview with Point, but Point came out and then they're a professional paper. They said that, let me put on a declaration, and they carried it, which like you yourself, you know, I know these people, but when you approach me, you are not going to favor me just based on the fact that you knew me yesterday. That's what we did. The declaration is as powerful as launching a party, you know, because right now, Chini, if I tell you how many people are contacting me all the way in South Sudan, you will think that I'm exaggerating. And all those people have pledged their allegiance in terms of money, in terms of logistics, in terms of ideas. In fact, yesterday we had an approach from a university scholar, a person who is a lecturer, and he told us that I take you guys seriously, and the way you are going is good. Don't rush yourself and do something wrong and come back. So the reason why I'm not saying this is I respect this group, because we were going to come out maybe in July or August, but I'm not saying it can take longer than that. It may be, it may be before that. But right now, the fact that we are out, the declaration is out, Gambians should understand that there are people out there. It's like launching a party, naming a party, bringing out a manifesto is all very good in the engine. But what matters is for them to know that there is a third, lane different from the other lanes that you used to see, or maybe a 12th lane, I would say now.
But Ambassador, don't you think that you are running out of time, because 2026 presidential election is
not
just
running out.
1 year, six months away right now?
Seni,
and we are, yes.
Seni, let me tell you one thing. The sensitization of certain political parties in our neighboring countries took so many years, but it took them 10 days to be elected. No, we are not running out of time. You see, rushing against time is not the wisest idea for a strategist. You don't rush. A strategist walks alongside time. That's the best way. Because I'm not a tactician in politics. I'm a strategist in politics. Because I don't want to be
Well,
the one of
Esa, you are not a politician. We know you as a seasoned diplomat. We knew
yes.
you as a lecturer. We knew you, but all of a sudden you are shifting into the political landscape. Why this sudden shift to the country's political landscape?
Saying it is an outcome, like I said in one of my interviews with some media house there, it is an outcome of a movement, and the movement, you are part of it. What I mean by that is an unannounced movement, an unnamed movement. It is a movement of so many years of sensitization, which I am part of. People have been writing, I've been writing. We have been testing the pulse of society. We have been observing the mood of society. And some of these professionals who are at in the background said that it is time, Esa, for you to be part of this process, because people have been reading what you write. They have been listening to your speeches, and you have convinced so many people. I was surprised when I went to Gambia. For me, honestly, Sedi, this thing has never entered my head. I've never seen myself as Esa is known everywhere.
So
But when I went to
it's look like you have been motivated by people who come to you and say, "Hey, ambassador, it's time for you to also throw your hat into the political ring."
no, if you allow me to learn why I was explaining, you will understand. It's not people who came to me and said, it is now time for you to throw your hat. I'm trying to build it, to knit the cloth here. I'm weaving the cloth for you to know what brought me where I am right now, because the people are part of it. But what is more of part of it is what they say, the analogy of thought. Past experience plus subsequent mental operation. Right now, the subsequent mental operation is ripe, is mature, is like a fruit from the tree. Whether you throw a stick on it or not, whether a parrot comes to touch it or not, the fruit is ripe to be down, and then you have to bring the basket and cover it and receive it so that you can eat it. I'm speaking philosophical, but I know you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Absolutely, I understand. So many people would say, there are a lot of reasons why people want to change the status quo. One is to join a political party.
Correct.
One, so in your own case, what motivated you, to, join, politics right now, to a state that you want to seek for the office of the president? Others will, for military, they will say we do coup d'etat because there is bad governance, there is economic mismanagement. In your own case, why are you going to contest, in the upcoming presidential election? And recently, these are two questions. Recently, you also came public, and talk about very critical issues. You even said Adama Barrow should not even contest a third term in office. Is this part of things that motivate you to also seek political office? Because you have heard it, you have seen it, you work in the Gambia for the past 5 years, you have seen firsthand what's going on in that country.
Yes, Sonny, I am going to repeat myself, and I will talk to the Gambians directly here. Please, every Gambian, home and abroad, do not wait for me to influence you. Do not wait for me to manipulate you. Do not wait for me to mesmerize you. Please, don't hold back. Every concern you may have for our team, bring it out. Because I understand some of them will say, people join politics because they want to announce the party, and some rich person will hear about it and then come and say, okay, I'm going to pledge this, I'm going to pledge that. I don't want them to even listen to what I'm telling them. Let them observe the processes as they go. And I'm appealing to the Gambians, please. Like I always say on televisions, if you don't want to be asked questions, you don't want to be criticized. The only thing that I don't want to take is personal attacks. That because I'm not gonna sit by for that. But if you don't want to be asked questions, you don't want to be scrutinized, you don't want to be criticized, you don't even want to be suspected Until you are proven that you are not that type, then don't run for public office and don't occupy a public office. So I want to make that clear.
Is Mr. C ready for this? Because Gambian politics is getting nastier and nastier ahead of the presidential election. Are you ready for this?
Well, I don't know. What I'm trying to say here, Sini, is that being ready for what? Because when you say, I said it clearly that I am not, in one of my videos, I'm not into personal attacks. I'm not into insults. Like the educator says it. There is one person in India, they told him that politics is dirty, don't enter politics. He said, my knowledge will be the soap to wash the dirt. So when somebody is in a bin, and you believe that it's only what is in the bin that you throw to others, my answer to those people is this. Sheikh al-Islam Baye Niasse in Senegal said, if you go to a tree and it has fruits, and you only have stones to throw to the fruit, he said, you, the one who wants to be a leader, be the fruit, be the tree. When people throw stones, give them the fruit to eat, because you don't have stones. That's my reply to that. Yeah.
Okay. Ambassador, say why you think Barrow should not contest for a third term in office? Why? Because when you look at the Gambian constitution, when you look at the Gambian constitution, he can still seek third term in office.
Absolutely.
But morally, people will say he can't, because this is a guy who failed to accept the 2020 draft, which you participated in, and then a lot of people are saying with the 1997 constitution, President Barrow can still, seek third term in office. But you, S.R. Bokarsi, said you advised the president in a letter that, hey, Mr. Barrow, please reject the third term bid. Why do you think the president should not seek third term in office?
In this case, Seri, if you can allow me, I will take the cap of somebody being interviewed trying to form a political party, and I'll now come to be a security diplomatic analyst. And my intervention towards him at that time was coming from that angle. Do you see, Seni, there is a list of things that cause turbulence in West Africa. Mm-hmm. And all security, experts, I would say most of them have agreed on that. On top of the list is constitutional crisis. And I don't know why somebody would tell me 1997 shifted to 2020, and now we are talking about 2024. I don't know how anybody can tell me that is not a signal of crisis. I don't understand that. And the other thing is that I cannot force any president not to run for a third term as far as the constitution says it. But Seni, let us come back to one thing. People will always want to easily say, that's the law. But is jungle law not a law? Is martial law not a law? They are laws. But why do people don't respect those laws? Some people will tell you, no, it is not about morality. It is about legality. Fine. But the same people who are talking about morality and legality, when they go to court, sometimes you hear they say, they are asking your honor to tamper justice with mercy. Is that not morality? Mm-hmm. Exactly. So when they go to the court, they will tell you that we are not going by emotions. We are going by evidence, and in fact, credible evidence. There is legality, but nothing escapes. Nothing, I would repeat that, escapes the goggles of morality, what is also ethical. That nothing escapes that. If any law is there, we knew that the law was there during Yahya Jammeh's time. My reasoning for him was not to say, I cannot stop Adama Barrow from running for election, because but that's my opinion, that these things that I'm seeing, constitutional matters, ethnic matters, religious matters, okay, drug-related matters, and the forces of chaos in the Sahel, I combine them from the security angle to say that even if the law allows you, okay, Seni, let's go back to 2016. Was the 1997 constitution, was it there to say that Yahya Jammeh cannot continue?
No, no, because in the 1997 constitution, there is no term limit. You know, the
Correct.
president, as far as you win an election, you can
Correct.
continue to run.
Now, allow me just a little bit here to argue that out. We all fought to say that he should leave. Abuse of human rights here and there, the Public Order Act was being used and all that stuff. We all saw that happen. But the results of the 2016 results, if somebody is very objective about it, now you don't see Jammeh, the dictator, Jammeh this, Jammeh that, you just see it constitutionally. Was he not preparing parliamentarians to go to the House of Parliament to extend it for him until May, then they go back to election? Jammeh himself did not say, I did not win. He accepted defeat. The IEC came out and said they made a mistake. Is it that not true?
Yeah.
If we were to go by the reasoning of law, then he should have been allowed to stay. But that time, was it about law or was it about public interest? Because if the law is beating public interest, that law should be revisited, because the law did not make itself. People made the law. Law is not self-made. Everybody who will just go back to say, this the law, this the law, you can amend the law and do anything you want with it, and you still tell people this is the law. That's not a law that you should use as a reference all the time. What I would advise the incumbent Adam Barrow is for them to understand that I personally would not hesitate supporting him in, like I said, forming. I know some people will tell me, you are saying this, but they will not care. It's not about what they care about. It's what about history is recording today that we are saying. That's what matters to me. He could have created Barrow Center for Conflict Resolution. Sponsorship could have come. He would be a president even after he leaves and go home and be part of the people that are regularizing things in the world, this turbulent world. That's what I wanted him to do, and I still stand by that. I do not respect the idea of him thinking that he should run for a third term, and it is not late. Even 1 week before, he can still say that. Oh, let me not say 1 week. I say even 1 month before, he can just say, look, I am not even going to run. This is the person I want to push for my candidature. I will still come out and make a video and then give him the best of speeches of honor and dignity if he does that.
Okay. Ambassador C, Gambia has already, has established parties like the NPP, the UDP. What makes your party different, and how do you plan to compete in a crowded political landscape like ours? A lot of political parties.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a question I would be ready to answer. Look, the thing is not, for me, it's not about I'm better, but I can say I'm different. You see, you cannot come to an arena and say that I'm better. The difference between me and any other, not me, us, because I want to insist on this us. Don't be surprised next time you call, somebody else will appear here, because we are a structure that is like an octopus. So nobody will come and claim patronage. That we know. But the difference is that the package we are coming with is associated with time. Let's say I will give you one thing. We will create our own IEC. You know what the IEC means?
IEC in
the structure. You know what is an acronym, but I've not said what the acronym means.
Independent Electoral Commission.
No, that's for the political Gambia. I said within our structure. Do you know what, if we are to create a IEC, you know what it will mean?
No.
Inter-ethnic committee of youngsters. And you know what the IRC would mean? Inter-regional committee.
Is that a name that you are proposing for your political party?
No. I'm saying the difference of the political party with any other party, just for us, because we will bring in something.
I got you.
Yeah, we'll bring in something different. That's just, I'm giving you, snowflakes make an iceberg, Seni. Okay? You see the snowflakes coming, then an iceberg is formed. I'm just giving you one snowflake. I'll speak in Mandiga, saying it in the Amundilat.
No. Esa, this is
I'm just being humorous, because after all, let me tell you one thing. Philosophically, after all, when I sit before people here, let me be as natural, as Gambian as possible. Let me not just come here and start acting like an angel from cosmos, a professional. I am a human being. I'm talking in a very relaxed mode. Sometimes I throw in jokes, you throw in them there, because that's all I said. Because it will be boring for anybody out there, the youngsters looking at me and then start feeling that, oh, is this man from extraterrestrial image who was riding on the telescope? I'm not that. I am a Gambian. I'm a natural person. I make mistakes, and let them help me.
Yeah,
where I make
like
mistakes.
that. I like that you make mistakes
and
and let
it.
them help you. Ambassador, a lot of people have started pointing fingers at you, saying that you are trying to establish this political party because at the day you want to join coalition with President Barrow. You know, this is an opportunity. What's your reaction to that? Because why I say this, I've seen before 2021 presidential election, a lot of political parties came in, you know, especially a political party like CA, you know, which was embraced by a lot of young people because they came with new ideas, you know, they were all young people. But at the end of the day, what happened, their leader is now in President Barrow's government, serving as a minister of information. So a lot of people are fear that, you know, new political parties like you might also end up that way. What do you have to say about this?
Let them not point fingers at Issa Bogarsi as a person, because had they will come to know who we are as time goes on. Because some of these youngsters, we are going to go after them vigorously to understand, and they will come to understand that what we are putting in place is a platform or a structure where nobody will be taking the decision. And Seni, I laughed. Let me tell people one thing here. It's not a bluff. I am a Taliban. I don't bluff. Wallahi lazim. I, the son of Bokar Singh, I don't need Adama Barrow. I don't need the NPP to live a good life. I have been in this before I was 30 years old. There is no hotel I have not seen. There is no airplane I have not entered into. There is no riches I have not seen in my life. Do they know how much money I have right now? They don't know. And I have to swear. When I swear, it's like, I know they say somebody who swears a lot. I don't swear a lot, but I swear when it is needed. I take Allah as my witness. If any government I'm going to lead tomorrow, there is nothing like Allah support. I don't want to be the president. I don't want to be. I don't want to go to the State House. Okay? When I take Allah as my witness, I'm not joking. I would not mind leaving on the spot, because me, Seni, to be honest with you, I'm not too much.
Ambassador, you said you don't want to go to State House. Look, every
no, you did not understand what I'm saying. Seni, wait, you did not understand. I said any government where Allah does not be part of it, I don't want to go to State House then. That's what I said.
Okay.
I am trying to make a point for them to understand that. Let them not even believe me. I said it earlier. I said the youngsters in particular, I know they have been stabbed so many times. I know they have been disappointed so many times. I know their hearts have been broken so many times. Let them not sit and just watch Esa Bokarsi and wait for the outcome. Let them be going side by side. Any signal they see with our team, they believe that this team is going to repeat the same thing. Then let them jump on us. I am not that type. Maybe they will come to know me. Say me. Even right now, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me
political parties.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. Like I said, if anybody believes that Issa Bokar Singh wants to get closer to Adam Barrow for a job or some money, that's why I laugh. I said they don't know me. They really don't know me. And they will come to know me, because I'm not blaming anybody. Even right now, those who are watching me, anyone who has the different feeling, I don't blame you, because look, they have gone through it over and over and over. And who am I to come today and expect everybody to say, Esa is different? No, I'm a human being. What I meant by I'm a human being is I expect criticism, but I'm not giving room that tomorrow I'm going to change. Let them watch me. Let me say it in Mandinka City.
Okay,
And
go
I'm
ahead.
very emotional right now.
No, go ahead.
Nte
Go ahead.
bokar si dingo manke wo mo sifati. Wo nafulte mo bulu, a parasite mo bulu, ninkom pareta ke politician oti. Wallahi azim, yen yibe. I don't need anything from anybody and let those people who have the money, do they know how much money I have? Do they? Sonte manke wo mo sifati. And let them keep this video for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Ambassador, every job, you need partnership, you need support.
Yeah.
Are we looking at a situation when you officially registered and form your political party, which is due anytime soon? Are you looking into exploring a partnership like coalition with bigger political parties? Because many political analysts believe that no single party can, unseat Adama Barrow, like in the case of 2021 presidential election. Are you exploring or thinking of partnering with other political parties like the UDP to make sure that work to dislodge or unseat Adama Barrow should he contest in the 2026 presidential elections?
One thing I want to make clear openly is that I would not hesitate to listen to anybody. In fact, go and pay a courtesy call to anybody that I believe that can add baggage to what I'm doing. But I want to make it categorically clear that I'm not the type that will go halfway and turn around and merge with the NPP simply because I want a job. Let them not even expect it. Inshallah. That I will make
no,
clear.
I'm not talking about the NPP here. I mean, like those in the opposition, like the UDP, the PDOIS. You name that.
I replied saying, I said, if I go on the ground, let people expect me to pay courtesy calls to people that I believe that I respect them, gather experience from them. That doesn't mean that I'm going to form an alliance with them. No, okay. No. But it will be very foolhardy and very disrespectful and I am not. I think anybody who knows ESA, maybe you know me for whatever, I don't know, but I don't think anybody will judge me as somebody disrespectful.
Yeah.
I always maintain respect between. So it will be one of the most callous ways of entering a country. And you have found people who have been in politics for years. You say you are not forming an alliance with a person and going to listen to the person. And the person may even want to listen to you. I'm not going to say I will not listen to you. I will not respect you. Come on, what kind of a politician would you be? Who are you to come and just be on the? But there are political characters and characteristics. I am not going to entertain that to match my principle, because the moment you come there, it all dilutes what we believe in, and we are not going to do it. We are a principle-centered structure. We are not a personality cult-centered structure.
Okay. Ambassador, history has taught us that political parties, especially in the opposition, that are formed 2 years or 3 years before elections, never win, in Gambia. What will yours be different? Are you optimistic that you can make that breakthrough?
Because who said that? Who said that?
Tell me a political party in Gambia's history, form 2 years or 3 years before election and win a presidential election.
Yeah, but a political party, I wouldn't call it a political. Some people call it as a coalition. But 2016, it happened.
But it was a coalition. It was a
coalition. I'm coming. I'm just being strategic here. So, are you also sure if push comes to shove? The aim here is not to be solo.
Okay.
Just try to make a name. The aim here is to be strategic. I told you that, Seni, I'm not a tactician. I'm a strategist. Okay, let me bring my military background again. There is a meaning of standard formation, scattered formation, and the camouflage you put on in the desert and the wilderness of Brazil is different. If I am deployed, I'm not going to say those things here, but if I were to be deployed somewhere in Iraq, where I am right now, or with my colleagues, we are not going to put on a green shirt in the desert. No. You are going to put on the camouflage that matches the desert. And that's exactly politics. Mao Zedong said it. It's an alternative or military strategies. But sometimes what I see, this is some of our people, the alternative is not military strategy. It's an alternative of occult forces soaked in a culture of cartel. That's not military strategy. That is not political strategy. Now,
Okay.
yeah.
Ambassador, you hold a U.S. citizenship. We call it a dual citizenship. And under Gambian constitution, a person who holds a dual citizenship cannot contest for presidency. Are you thinking of, declaring your U.S. citizens before you could contest? Otherwise, they may use this law against you, because we have seen others before you who the same law was used to bar them from contesting. Are you foreseeing a situation where you pitch?
I'm laughing. Seni, that is a question that I'm not even going to answer today. My answers will come from my strategies.
Okay. Okay.
They will know my answer. That's the first thing I thought of. That thing is the first thing, and I've written against it. And I know, and it's a good thing you asked this question. There is a set structure within the existing government. That's exactly why they did not want to entertain for them to go to House of Parliament, for the diaspora people to be allowed to vote, because I know that some of them would say it's a chain of actions. The moment you allow them to vote, they use the word allow, which actually is dictatorial. Because if you are going by a constitution, you don't say allow as a government. What you should say is the constitution makes it possible. This is not a question of allow and control, because they are using words that are even inflicting, wounds on their own structure asset. So I know that. I know without that, next they will say, oh, they will also find out and ask about them being, because the moment they can vote, then that means they can run for presidential election. That's what they were running away from. Saying, I want to divulge something today. Let the people go and make a research. I wrote a letter to the National Human Rights Commission more than 5 months ago for them to look into Gambians voting abroad. And I was given a feedback that the letter was taken before the Solicitor General and they were discussing it. I have not got any feedback yet what is going to happen, because I see them as arbiters. I'm not expecting the National Human Rights Commission also to come and tell me, yeah, we approve. They cannot approve. They can only be arbiters. I wrote that letter. It is with them. So this thing you just mentioned, I laughed. I thought about that in the beginning. But my strategies will give them answers to that effect. Any person who thinks that that is where you lean back on and think that you're comfortable, you can continue being a president or a minister, I think from Kuntaya to Moscow to Washington, this shepherd has learned a lot of strategies in. We will see, inshallah.
Absolutely. Okay, for those tuning in, this is the final take with me, Seni Marina. In the studio today is Ambassador Essa Bokar C, a former Gambian diplomat, now turned politician, who is intending to run for the office of the president in 2026 presidential election. Mr. Essa Bokar C, you told me in the earlier interview that you have money, because politics involve a lot of money. If without financial support, most political parties in the Gambia are struggling financially. How much money do you have? And are you intending to declare your assets before running for office?
I'm intending to declare my assets if I finally, or not if, when I am set to come and stay. I'm not going to sit here on the television. I have money. But those who ask the ustas, when you hear me talk, ask them after the interview, that's my money. My money is Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlika wa rahmatika fa innahu la yamlikuha illa anta. That's my money.
Okay.
So my money is nothing other than the fact that I own assets. I own assets here where I am. Not to bluff, but people can come and see my house. And I own assets in the Gambia. I'm going to declare those assets. Now it is left to those people if they transform those assets, whether I am rich or not. There are 3 lanes for riches in this world. Asset rich, cash rich, network rich. I am asset rich. I will not say I'm cash rich, but I'm cash comfortable, and I am extremely network rich, Sini. If anybody wants to try me among them, let them try me.
Okay.
Look, Seni, we are all from the village background. We you know, as the village culture, you don't come out and start telling people, you know, I'll tease my fullers. One Kabunka asked the fullers, how many sons and daughters do you have? He said, I'm na nyati banta. Ako doko fula lebembulu. You know, the fullers, I don't want to say I have 10 cows. I will say I have 10 horns. Because they say Dabe Nisol Mutala. But that's the answer I'm going to give you. If I have 10 cows, I say, Seni, I have 20 horns. Wait, they will see. If I'm laughing because the thing is, Seni, me, I have been into fights. They cannot stop me, even if it is not ESA. What did they see in Senegal? That's why I said, I laugh. I said, my strategies are ready for that. Double citizens, here, there, nangam. They will come to know. You see, the issue is not about ESA. The issue is more about the principle of changing the dynamics and make sure that we have something serious on the ground and then develop the country. We would not have people who will always come to you and tell you roads. And if I am part of the rallies, can anybody come to me and beat your chest about roads, Seni?
Yeah, because you are part of those who were managing those roads. That's why my next question will be your term at the OIC. Ambassador C, you have been appointed, you know, as Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the OIC, you know, and then you were part of the team that plan execute the 15th Islamic conference that was held in May last year. You know, after the conference, a lot of questions have been raised, a lot of concern. Millions, you know, of dollars have been invested in the OIC. Tell us, is the OIC summit in the country successful? Because there have been allegations of corruption, like in terms of giving out contracts. You even wrote, not extensively, but a little bit, you know, in a rhetoric term, that not all was well at the OIC, and this is an opportunity. Tell us what went wrong. For this,
I don't want to. You see, Seni, the thing is, I answered this question at the GRTS one time. Even if I know that I'm confident enough to face a commission of inquiry at any given time, but it will not look good for you to come on the media and try to act like you're cleaning yourself. We have National Audit Office. The audit report is out. It is not made public.
But from the OIC is out?
Yeah, it is out. And
but not people, to the public knowledge?
Well, I am not saying that they did not make it public because I'm not at the National Audit Office, but I know that the National Audit Office did their job. They did not spare anybody. They don't even know me anyway. Because those people, I don't know them. Okay, so I would want that thing to announce itself and who ESA is. If need be, say me, if I were to be a president tomorrow, let them keep the video. I will be the first president in the world to constitute a commission of inquiry against myself. Let them keep the video also.
Okay, Ambassador, are you clean in any way from this report?
That's what I'm telling you. It will not be good for any person, whoever you are in the world, to say, I am clean. I hear people say that.
No, you can defend yourself because, you know, people have perceptions about who so this is an opportunity to say.
No, it's not an opportunity because this is not a commission of inquiry. This is not a courtroom. This is not an audit office. This is a media platform. Okay. So if I come here, I can say anything I want for everybody to believe me and go home and start clapping for me. But I prefer the figures, the statistics, the paper trail, okay, the digital footprints, okay, investigations to say Isa is clean. I don't want to say that, but I know that I am not scared of anybody to set up a commission of inquiry and call me. I know that.
But Esa, tell me,
Mhm.
you are at the OIC. Did
Yeah.
everything went well as planned? Free of corrupt practices in terms of awarding
Well,
contracts, biddings, and stuff?
let me tell you one thing. The unfortunate part of it is that, or the fortunate part of it, OIC it is an organization that is meant to coordinate
Yeah,
and to
the summit.
mobilize resources. Let me make it clear: to
Okay.
mobilize resources. OIC was not receiving monies into the account that would be meant to for was during the daily functions of the office. Okay. Now, what happened outside the Saudi Fund for Development? If a commission of inquiry is set up in the Gambia, the Saudi Fund for Development also will be called.
Okay.
Because the monies that we are coming in, they had experiences in other countries where a lot of things happened, especially Senegal. So this time around, it was not like money was coming to me and I'll sign a check. I remember a story when one of my batchmates at Zandarmori called me on the phone. I was dumbfounded. He said, I'm coming to your office because they broke my house and somebody told me that there is a big line there. I am coming to take my check. I said, which check? He said, well, people are on the radio station saying that if you go to Esa Bokarsi's office, he will give you a I said, me? No, 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 no. Lands office is involved in this. Ministry of Works is involved in it. Everybody saw me at New Joshua, the speech I delivered. At that time, I told the people that let nobody make you believe that you should not be compensated because your fences 10 years ago, the price of the fence will be different today. So I made them understand, but that's not for you to come to me. There was one Tarawale who will listen to you. They put the statistics and then it will go to lands office here and there. So I am not exonerating myself. I want the records. You see, anybody can go to any media platform and say, I support one thing though. When people say, OIC there should be a commission of inquiry, there should be an audit. Yes. Why not? Because how can you run an entire institution and then finish with it? No auditing, no commission of inquiry, no nothing. Come on, how can I expect that to happen? That is not a serious way of thinking. I'm not thinking like that. But what I want to tell people is that this is not a place for me to clean myself. I can say anything I like now. I can give you fictitious figures. And I want to make one thing clear. Lamin Sane's time is how I came to OIC. Some people, I heard them, I was laughing. They were saying that ESA is disgruntled. I heard that in 2003 when I left Jamaica.
Yeah, I wanted to
I'm
ask you
coming.
about that. Yeah,
just
but
allow
time
me.
is not on our side. We are
Okay,
just
but I wanted to say Lamin Sane contacted me.
Okay,
By that time, what I was doing was I was training U.S. Army personnel, language instruction. Use your language skills to understand your operational environment. That's what I was. Lamin called me and said, if I could come home. I didn't know Lamin at that time. Another person recommended me in Saudi. I never applied begging for a job. No, that did not happen. The traces are there. The emails are there. And I was written to in the Gambia when the contract ended. They said 31st of July is your last day. I wasn't angry. I have a letter in my bag here. I can bring it and show it to you. I handed over my car, handed over my laptop, handed over the in-house insurance card, handed over the office key, handed over everything, and I have a clean slate. It was signed by the director of finance is with me. Other people are saying, Esa is angry. He wanted to be an ambassador. That is not true. I met the president. I told him that if you want me to stay around to help you, I'm more conversant with diplomacy. I was doing that because a political party leader called me and advised me not to resign. A highly respected scholar in the Gambia called me and said, I wanted to leave. not
So
because of
Esther,
the
why
money.
do you want to leave, at a time when the job was at its peak? What happened, and you
That's why
definitely
I
wanted to
said,
resign.
maybe there is one part of the mistake that Adam Barrow made.
Okay.
That because some people make the mistake of saying the president is the most informed person in the world. You may also be the most misinformed person. You may think that you know the
Did
information.
someone report you to the president?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just giving you an anecdote of if anything would happen for anybody to say those things, the records are with me. Saying, you know the way I fight back. I don't joke when it is about fighting back something that is said about me. I have the records with me. I have my emails. I have everything I ever wrote. I have all the meetings I attended. These people have it also. What would they call them again? Those National Road Authority.
Yeah, NRA. Yeah.
Seymour and others and others. They know who I am. The current chief of staff knows who I am. They know if I participated in things that are dubious or not. They know that. And
No,
if they don't,
somebody said you even challenged certain decisions, but this is not to public knowledge. Can you recall in an instances you challenged until you had issues that, hey, this is not what's supposed to be done? But other people will be like, SI has been very quiet because this is a guy who has been very vocal about injustice, about corruption. But they say moments you went to the OIC, SR, was so quiet. He doesn't talk about issues, like he does before, So, tell me.
Before we wrap up, that is something I repel with vigor. Anybody who says that you don't know ESA, the records are there, Seni. People are in the Gambia. The things I've been writing on my WhatsApp, the audios, you can go on YouTube and make a data analysis between 2018 to now. You are an expert in that. You just go today, check my videos, check what I was saying, how critical it was to the government, 2018 to now. I was not quiet. Those people build their mindset that way and think that anybody who goes, I've seen people write would say, did you get the envelope? I laughed. I said, no, I did not get the envelope. I got depleted bank account funds because it made me lose money. What they were paying me in the Gambia, when I sent this, the pay slip, it was prepared by our former director, who was the director of Gambia, Banding Silla. When he gave it to me, when I sent it to America for my tax refund, I was under the category lower than the poverty line.
Wow. And many people say,
OIC, wallahi, OIC brought me down financially as compared to what I earn in America.
Yeah, a lot of people think officials at the OIC are the most highly paid.
That is not true. We were not paid in dollars. I had all that. We were paid in dollars. Nobody at that OIC, from the time I was there until I left, I don't know anybody who has earned a salary. When you take it to the Forex Bureau, you will get more than $2,000. I don't know that person. I did not get that anyway.
Okay. In your view, is the OIC...
Can you imagine, Tony, I'm saying Tony, can you imagine Shaney, not to bluff about it, where I am right now, I'm more comfortable. Right now, if I go on vacation to France, I can still work as that university instructor specialist. Every 50 hours, what I earn is 3 times the salary of OIC. OIC made me lose money. So those people who are making noise, I don't get angry because they don't know.
Oh. And some said you were, after the OIC, you were trying to look for a job from President Barrow.
I heard that, which is true. That's why I said, that's good for them to say it, because that is against the sitting president. Because why? The letter is right now in my bag. I wrote to him. I met him. We spoke 1 hour. I still remember the time, 1 hour, 20 minutes at his office.
What did you tell the president?
We were just talking about things. Is the one, I mean, I wouldn't say invited me per se, but it was made possible by people that they thought I should sit with him and we discuss about matters, security, whatever, just discuss as brothers. And then that time I told him on that day that I want you to take me out of OIC. He said, in Fulham, in Nanima, I had you. And I said, okay. I went and stayed until the end of my contract. Look, I'm a responsible person who has been working in state machinery. I cannot, the reason why I was saying that I want to leave and I listen to advices not to leave, because I respect the Republic. I have a letter that said that your contract ends July 31st. I said, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Then people will not say, Esa resigned, he destroyed the name of the Gambia, he made the OIC lose credit. Then I left. I did not, if I wanted to stay, let me tell you one thing. I know the president's nephews. Those people knew my family, not personally, in Sinchu Sori. They knew my brother, the late brother Abu Bakar C. You know some members of my family. Exactly. Those people knew people like Alimatu Baro and others. If I wanted to lobby, billahi, it will not take me 5 minutes to go and know. I know the channel to take to lobby to stay. Okay. Those people talking, they don't know. Let them go and ask his sister. Let them ask his nephew, Njaga. Let them ask Amadou if they don't know me. They know me.
So, Ambassador C is not desperate to look for a government job as claimed by people.
No.
Right?
No, Seni, I'm laughing because Seni, I'll invite you to my house. I promise you that you can come and see me live and direct. You are not going to spare me. And look at me, look at the way I walk, look at my family, look at my son and my wife, and you think whether these people are desperate to get job from government. Just come.
Absolutely.
Inshallah.
Ambassador Esa Bokasi, that's a very interesting conversation. We can keep this going and going, but unfortunately, we are running out of time. Ambassador C, it's a pleasure talking to you. Finally, your message to Gambians. We have seen recently that there have been calls for accountability. Young people on the streets for 3 days demanding accountability and transparency in the looted assets of the former government, former President Yahya Jammeh. What's your reaction to this and way forward?
The first person I will talk to directly here is Demba Sabali.
Okay.
Let him be extremely careful.
Okay.
Of the way I have seen him speak to people. I was even surprised. I never thought that a person like Demba would talk like that. However much irritated you may want to be, we have seen people say worse things during Jammeh's time. They came to TRRC and regretted it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, there is one unpopular person, but I think I will respect him more than I will respect Demba. It's this National Assembly member who is from Sabah Sajak.
Yeah.
He came out. He said things. I joke with him. He's a Cisse. I don't want to go too much because he may snatch my wife. He's a fana. He said the cockroaches and the mice. You know, I was laughing because I know he can say it correctly, but he was so irritated. But he came back.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not surprised that people don't accept the apology, but at least that's better. People have said worse things that Demba said during Jammeh's time, beating their chest, running around. Yeah. We will do this, we'll do that. When they face Esam Baifal as the lead counsel, and Lamin Sise, what did they say? I'm sorry. I want the Gambians to forgive me. Don't put yourself before that shameful I'm sorry when history changes. It is not necessary to talk like that. These youngsters who came out, I wrote a day before, Seni, I think you are a keen follower. I wrote to the person who, the assistant inspector general who wrote that letter. We were at the Gambia College together when I was doing my French pilot program. He was doing French too, Ibrahima Bah. I wrote to Ibrahima openly. I said, Ibrahima, I do not agree with the fact that you are denying these people the permit. You and Pate Jallo, the head of the operation unit of the PIU, go to the IG, prevail upon him, allow them to demonstrate, form a line, flank them, lead them, let them deposit their letter and go. Because if you deny it, you are using petrol to put off fire. It's not possible. Petrol doesn't put off fire. What happened the day after? So the accountability, I want to say something about the president's speech. I think if I were the president, I would not even deliver the speech he delivered. Because there are analysts. Some of us are analysts, others, you are an analyst. Look, the chronology of the speech, the sequence of events do not match the chronology of the speech. You began by saying there is an account open where they will deposit the monies. And then you came back and said some of them came to brief cabinet. You talked about reference of 40, I think he said 40 properties were. And at the same time, you, the same person, some people who are trained investigators, they listened to the thread of thought. The thread of thought I was following was cut at a certain point, and there was no not used to tie it. Now you say all that, you ended up saying, but they did not bring this to report to my office. But you can say that they have the bank account, deposits were made there. And another part of the speech, he said, some of the monies, Mansakunda ya Dundi, come like, put it in other projects. So it looks for me,
but the president sound very uninformed, because
I am coming to that
the most informed person, but saying he's not aware.
Look, saying this terminology came from highly developed countries. It's one of those things that people use. You know who is the most informed person? Is the citizen. Because if you say intelligence gathering, have you ever had anybody tell you stupidity gathering?
No.
They gather intelligence from Seni, from Isa, and that's the intelligence they filter and bring it for the presidential daily briefing, Seni. So you may be the most informed, misinformed person. And the other thing is, there is a time he said he has a Mbahal cabinet. Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is a Mbahal speech. Because Netetu is there.
So you're describing President Barrow's speech as a Mbahal speech? From
It is a Tupac Kanja speech. It is a Mbahal speech. I have no intention to disrespect him, because he knows me. He knows that I've never come after him in any way. Not that because somebody is not scared of Yahya Jammeh, why will we be scared of another person? It's not about being scared. You see, presidents should not brag around, I have these powers, I have this power. You are a president, you should be respected. Nobody should be scared of you, because it's character and delivery out of the context of the character that would make people. The reason why I'm teasing him and say this is a Mbahal speech, he was incoherent. This is exactly why I keep saying that he is not running the government in the way he should, because all the time, minister said this, permanent secretary said this, director said this, advisor said this. It is all fine, but you should have a shadow cabinet that will tell you what those people did not tell you and find out the truth. But this speech was not coherent and it's not convincing. He should not even have delivered that speech. I don't know who wrote that speech for him, but if I were him, I would definitely fire that person or sanction him. It is very disgraceful.
Do you think that the president is committed in fighting corruption from what's been going on with a lot of corruption and cases that are going on?
Well, for me, based on what he said, the speech he delivered at the end, the only part of the speech that I would say that he should have only said, in fact, if I were him, people are saying his speech was 5 minutes. With the speech he delivered, he could have even done it 1.5 minutes. Then he would have just said, I have had, I've set up this, I've set up that, and I am looking at the eyes of the citizen that no stone will be left unturned, and I am going to make sure that anybody involved in it, even if you are my family member, you will face the courts. And then he will say full stop. That would have been a better speech. The last part of the speech, he said he will not sit and watch people until proven otherwise. I will just stay comfortable with that. But is he committed with all the things we have seen happening?
Yeah, from the ports.
You see, there is one thing people accuse him of. They will say the president is full of maslaha around the people with him, but he is not with a maslaha about opposition. What I see in the president, any person who stands to be an opposition, when he speaks, you see from his heart how he is trembling, like he's angry. That is where he should bring the maslaha, but not the people stealing from government, the people embezzling money. The maslaha is not for them. The maslaha should be for the opposition parties and for the citizens. Yeah.
Interesting. I wish we can keep this conversation going, Ambassador C. But as you declare your intention to run for the highest office of the country, we will engage you in our subsequent interviews. Many thanks for joining us. Those joining in, this is the final take with me, Seni Marina. A special guest in the studio today, Essa Bokar C, a former Gambian diplomat, former Deputy Executive, Chief Executive Officer of the OIC. Ambassador C, many thanks for joining me this show.
Salute Gambia, Jeff Koinange. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Tune into the final take with MK Mariner every Saturday on the Alcamba Times and experience extensive conversations on a variety of topics, including national and international headlines, breaking issues, and major developments in politics, business, innovation, science, and sports, along with inspiring stories and expert analysis to provide a comprehensive understanding of the news.